Hello my friend, welcome to week 6 of my knee injury recovery journey. Last week I got my diagnosis. I have a Heisann syndrome, or also called INFRAPATELLAR fat pad syndrome. It is a crazy term, but it basically just means the fat pad in my knee is inflamed, and that is a long journey. It just takes time and you gotta be patient. So that was something we worked on in week 6. And the week was special because that was the week before I went back to work. I knew, okay, next week I really need to be able to walk at least 15 minutes and then also walking that back from work. So I felt a bit pressure. I felt a bit pressure to increase the numbers of minutes that I'll be able to walk. And let's say like that, I wasn't really sure if that's going to work well. So I thought okay, because I've been to work 3 times and I have a taxi that drives me to work, but then I decided, okay, I will try to walk from work back to home so that I can practice already at least one stage and then seeing how that goes. And obviously then at work I walk way more. Here at home I don't use the crutches anymore. I just go with my brace and that's all I need. But at work I walked with my crutches, so I obviously still put pressure on the knee, but the crutches really help to balance a bit out and kind of giving less pressure on it. And I would say that worked quite well. Let's get a bit into the days. We start with day 38, which was a day that I went into work. I got the taxi to work. I would say I still need a lot of help with the crutches because I can feel at the end of the day my knees clearly saying, oh, this is a lot. So I walked mostly everywhere. Even if I just went to the bathroom, I walked with the crutches. And I also asked for adjustments, that some meetings are at a different place, that it's closer for me and that I don't have to walk that much. And I mean, my workplace is super accommodating, so I'm really grateful for that. And then I still decided I'm going to go to aqua aerobics, which was a fun experience. Obviously I first had to walk there. That was a stretch. I walked quite slowly, but I got to the bus stop and I got to aqua aerobics. I'm still, because I've been only once since then, I still have to kind of get used to it. There's some exercise where you're just kind of jumping. I don't do that, obviously. There's also some where you kind of twist from one side to the other. I'm not doing that either. But I mean, for example, my arms are fully capable to do all the things that we do. And it's just a really fun environment. And I love with aqua aerobics that you just don't really see what other people are doing because they're immersed around water. So you just do what you feel like is possible. And sometimes you have more energy and sometimes you don't. And at the moment, I'm still very careful. I would say afterwards, okay, I could have given a bit more, but I'm still figuring out how much pressure my knee can already take. So we just take it slowly day by day. Day 39 went really well. I had a visitor, my host child, who's not a child anymore. She stayed here for a few days and it was really nice. I mean, I went to work, I got a lot of things done and also were able to walk a bit more in the building. Even though I used my crutches, I still felt oh, this is good. We're making a bit progress, learning to have a more normal life again. And I remember we were both really craving a soda at the end of the evening. So I was okay, today we can practice walking another stage, because I did the same as the day before. I walked home, but then I thought maybe it's good if we also walk to the supermarket, because then I have another 12 minutes and then that's what I actually need to be able to do when I'm back at work next week. So it was a bit let's test that out. And no problems. I would say when I go from the supermarket, there's kind of like a hill, and walking downhill doesn't feel good. I just find it hard to know how to step with my leg that it doesn't feel uncomfortable. So I got quite a lot of support from the crutches just because it felt so uncomfortable. I'm seeing slowly we're making progress, and I'm very grateful for that. Slower than I wanted to, but it's okay. I feel confident that I will be able to walk to work next week. But I also asked if I could have one more day with home office, because that's also what my physiotherapist recommended. So I have a day break where I can just be at home, where I move much less. And we'll see how that's going and for how long we're gonna do that. Day 40, I literally didn't do anything. I did my exercises. And we had pizza, watching Friends in the evening. That was really lovely. But I didn't walk. I thought like I had already done a lot in that week that I felt like now it's time to rest. And that is something really, it's not so easy to find the right way. Often you want to push and you want to do more, but there has to be days where you just don't do anything and just rest your legs or your knee here to get better over time. And if you remember, in week 5 I had a major setback one day where I wasn't able to walk more than 5 minutes, and I haven't had that this week. And I think it's because I've slowly increased the time I've been walking, plus I've had days where I just rested, and I think that was really helpful. And then there was day 41, which was pretty similar to the day before. Didn't happen so much, but I did my physiotherapy exercises. I find that I have less resistance around them. They don't feel so much like, oh, I need to do them and me. Usually I just put on a YouTube video, watch that while doing the exercises, and they take like, I would say around 15 minutes, and I definitely feel like I'm already stronger just by doing them every day. Okay, not every day, but many days of the week. And yeah, so I would say at the end of week 6, I definitely feel like, okay, I've got this. We're ready to go to work. I think I will be okay. I think I will walk a lot with the crutches first, because I have also walked now one stretch with almost no crutches, but I think because it will be so much a higher load for the first week, I will go a lot with crutches, and then over time we can kind of like phase that out. Hopefully. We will see. I've also been to the physiotherapist, and one thing that I've learned is not just that I hypermobile, that I talked about in the last video, but also that she said, yeah, probably because of my hypermobility, that's why I got injured so many times. And something just kind of like clicked in my head, because if you follow my channel, I'm injured all the time. I feel like I say that to the camera all the time. Oh no, I can't work out because I'm injured. Oh, my feet hurt. Oh, my elbow hurt. Oh, my shoulder. And it is most likely because of hypermobility. I'm just stretching out too much. And what she said was, we also talked about yoga. I mentioned that in the previous video, but we also talked about how, for example, if I do bicep curls, I can't stretch them out completely. I have to have it like that, so that I support and kind of like protect the ligaments around here and around the joints. That is a new thing. I definitely see how easy it is for me to injure myself, especially like when I do like combination moves and just stretching out, and then oh, that was probably not a good idea. Yeah, it is something that I probably have to delve a bit more into when I'm starting to work out a bit more. Currently I'm still just doing chair workouts with Senior Shape Fitness on YouTube. Love her, she's really cute, really motivating and kind, and I just try to do a few of them per week, like 1, 2, 3 or something like that. But we obviously are not back in a normal workout routine. Currently I don't feel comfortable to stand and do workouts or walking workouts. All of that is it feels like it's far, far away. Maybe we can talk about that in like another 8 weeks. That's my guess, actually. I think it will take much longer than I wish it would, but I think that's the reality of this injury. We've got to stay patient and keep on going. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. I'm still not able to do a lot of new videos, but I promise there's some new ones in October on its way that will be different than just sitting here and talking about my knee. So stay tuned for that. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday. I see you very soon. Bye bye.